She hasn't been to camp yet, so she doesn't know how to wake up properly. This is new. This is a new setup we have. Testing. Unique New York. That says American Camp Association New England. Should scoot in here.
Yeah.
Hi, Ayla. How are you?
We're friends.
It's been a while.
It has
If
been.
you are joining us for the first time, thank you for tuning in, watching, listening to the New England Camp podcast. I'm not going to say host, but I'm your traditional, I'm here a lot. Bud Copeland, Director of Membership for ACA New England. And you all know Ayla, is it Gudelsky?
Yes, sir.
I try not to butcher it too much.
I know he doesn't say my last name a whole lot because I think you're a little.
I don't say your name too much anyways. Between you and Haley, I just say Ayla or Ailey.
Well, I'll respond. Be like, what do you need? Anything. All hands on deck. So yes, I'm Ayla Gudelsky. I am the marketing and brand manager here at ACA New England. We are excited to talk about some of our favorite subject matters, which is one, camp, but making connections at camp.
You're going to meet Haley in a couple months. I told her she has to do an episode.
Oh, she does.
If you know about accreditation, which if you don't, go back to episode 2, all about accreditation, 22 minutes with yours truly. But all about accreditation. Haley Musso is our accreditation manager, and she has her nose in the books right now, which is the only reason she has not been on an episode. But
She's
once
busy,
once the standards are launched or the accreditation visits are launched, we're going to get her in here because also we're going to talk about volunteer engagement. But before we do all that, speaking of volunteer engagement, if you are going to the New England Camp Conference, the volunteer sign-up sheet is going out soon. We always need room hosts. We always need a little bit of help. Thank you for coming. But if you're going to be at the conference, you're probably there to make connections. And if you notice, we're wearing pink. If you're watching this on YouTube, we are wearing pink. It is Valentine's Day is this upcoming, was it Saturday?
Yep. So
what are you doing for Valentine's Day?
We're not actually, I don't like Valentine's Day. I think it's too much expectation. My favorite day of this kind of like month is February 15th because all the chocolate is on sale.
What color are those nails?
They are navy, and then the bottoms.
See, in this,
I got my nails done.
Red bottoms.
That's one, and I tried to get my nails done for the Patriots to support my fiance.
Go there. All right.
Anyway, moving on.
So speaking of Patriots, I'm a born again New England Patriot fan, and most people think it's because of my wife, who is a Mainer. But no, it's because I grew up a Michigan fan. Tom Brady goes way back then. But my wife, you say, all right. So this is February. You might have heard this story already. We're here to share some stories.
For Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day. It's conference season.
Oh, that's right. You asked me what we were doing for Valentine's Day, and I was like,
yeah. And you're
tell us.
What's Yiddish for like a curmudgeon?
Something that probably you shouldn't say.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. So anyways, it's about connections. It's about, and since it is February, we decided to have a little fun with it, dress up for it. We have some friends who shared some stories. But one more plug for conference season, whether it's at the New England Camp Conference, next week's ACA National Conference, the Tri-State Camp Conference. That's what most of this is all about.
Yeah.
We are a double-edged sword here at ACA New England. Half of what we do is accreditation. Shout out Haley and the Standards Committee as well. The other half is membership. We are a membership association, and so much of membership is about creating connections, resources, networks. And again, since we're in February and Valentine's Day, we're going to talk about some of those romantic relationships that developed throughout camp over the years. We have people who decided to bare their soul and share. I'm very excited about this one. And if you've seen or heard some of these, you might have, maybe not these. These are fresh.
These are fresh.
But we do have a section in our newsletter. Every Monday it goes out, 8 a.m. If you're not getting it, go to acanew.org, scroll to the bottom, click subscribe, or holler at me. Speaking of subscribe, wherever you're listening or watch this, don't forget to ring that bell, click the heart, do whatever you got to do to get this every time we come out with fresh content. But in the newsletter, we have a camp news section.
Yes, we do.
So if you have stories like this, if you're like, wait a minute, it doesn't have to be romantic. What we're really looking forward are connections. It could be your best friend. It could be a friend. It could be a one and doneer who 20 years later, you're still talking to this person. You haven't seen each other in 20 years, but through the magic of camp, you're still friends.
And camp milestones, we love celebrating those big camp milestones. So
100.
Even if it's just a love of camp, that's something to celebrate during, Valentine's Day, whatnot. But share those milestones with us. Are you doing updates at camp, new construction? Do you have a new addition to your family? And we always love
babies.
We love the baby pictures. We always love a dog photo.
Oh yeah.
Send us your camp dogs. Unprompted, no notes, just pictures. you'll make our day for sure.
And thank you to everybody who purchased the Canine Camp calendar for 2026. All those proceeds go to our ACA annual fund, which go to you all, the camp professional, and scholarships for Hill Day, conferences, etc., ad nauseum, ad infinitum. My quick camp story, if you don't already know it, I might have told it on a previous podcast. I did marry into a camp family.
You did.
Literally and figuratively. Never went to camp as a kid, kind of got bullied into it by my sister in college to be a counselor, yada, yada, yada. 6 years in, during pre-camp, I was there in May in Maine is where I used to work, overnight camp in Maine. Shout out Laurel South. And I was there in May getting everything set up because I had finished college and didn't know what I wanted to do next. And my director was like, why don't you come work up here early and late and, while you figure it out. And the maintenance director's daughter at 17 with her mom brought us shepherd's pie. There's 3 of us there. It's like 40 degrees. We're putting in docks.
I was going to say, wait, this is during the winter. I was going to say shepherd's pie during the summer.
No, this is May in Maine.
Choice.
This is May in Maine. It was raining, and she brought us shepherd's pie. And I remember looking at the maintenance director, and I was like, oh, who's that? She came and worked in the office that summer. And then 5 years later, on a day off, she saved me. She saved me from an awkward situation with another counselor.
Okay. I was like, life or death
or Jesus, or what are we talking about here? No, she saved me from an awkward situation with another counselor on a day off. Things just kind of went from there. And so we ended up getting married at camp. Her dad is still the maintenance director to this day. We lived in Maine for a while, but now we're down in Boston. And so it kind of fell ass backwards into it. I did not know at the time I was living in Florida. I didn't know she was going to be moving to Florida when we got together that summer. I thought it was a summer fling. The director broke it to me, said, how are you guys going to work this out when you get back down to Florida? And she's there. And that's when my face kind of turned white. And actually I was excited. Allie's great. I love my wife. I love my life. And a lot of it has to do with camp. You as well have similar and different, but you have a camp connection
similar
story.
And different. So I grew up going to traditional all girls overnight camp in Maine. And it was the best experience possible that I ended up staying at the same camp for, I think, like 14 years. So I was a camper there. I was a CIT. I was a counselor, and met some amazing women who I'm still very, very good friends with. So one of which, my friend Becca, she got married to this lovely guy, Eric, and they had their wedding Memorial Day weekend in 2023. And all of my camp friends are there with their significant others. And I was like, so I'm single at this wedding, and I chat with this woman who brings me over to her nephew, who I am excited to say we are getting married later this August. So I met my future husband at one of my best friends from summer camp's wedding.
We will do a part 2 of Camp Connections later this spring, probably May or June, because I don't want everybody to be like, well, that's great. How good for you guys meeting significant others.
True. Somebody else was at that wedding who I've also had a very long, wonderful relationship with, my friend Caroline. She, big fan. She's also a big camp person, big camp advocate. She knew I was moving up to Boston to give this relationship a try, and was like, hey, did you hear that ACA New England's actually hiring a social media person? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, I'm sure there's loads of people going out for this. That would be the dream job, though. I get to stay in camp forever. Like, that is the ultimate camp forever job. I have a cousin who also runs a family camp, and Eliana was like, hey, you know that ACA New England is hiring a social media? I'm like, is this Beshert? Kismet. There's some, there you go.
Thank you. I need my weekly
We're
dose.
going to do a Yiddish word of the day for Bud, hopefully. That should be a goal.
We're going to continue it. Yeah, it was not hard. We're a tight-knit group here, and when word got spread out, it was that same Caroline texted me, are you still hiring for a marketing person? Yes. And she goes, I have the person for you. So again, these relationships don't have to be romantic in nature. But
I still do love them very, very dearly. And
we want to share them. So as you come up, we have a camp news section. Find it in the newsletter. And one more shout out to Caroline. Caroline was part of the epic New England crowd that got that chapter launched here. She works for INA. Yes, INA. And we love Caroline. She's a great friend, great member. And now on with the show. So that said, you've heard a couple of our stories. We want to share a couple of other stories of people who did submit. Yes. Because these are fun. It is Valentine's Day month, as some people would say it. And just to give you a sneak peek, next month, we will be doing a conference preview for the New England Camp Conference. A month after that, so into April and May, is back when we will talk about standards and accreditation with Haley in one of those. We will go back to another Camp Connections episode, and that's where we will maybe share some more of the friend-to-friend stuff. Some of the more we were going to ask for people for these unique friendships that develop over the years. My wife's former boss, he is now a commercial real estate development guy, and he still goes on an annual canoe trip with his camp buddy from 35 years ago. He says it helps him like recenter, reset. So look for more of that coming down the pike or pipe, with however you pronounce it. So Haley,
See,
I just did it
again.
FML, the family show. All right, you kick us off though. We got 3 stories. If you're still hanging in here with us, don't forget to click subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. Season 1 of the New England Camp Podcast. We love having you here. Ayla, share the first story, please.
Yeah, so we got a few submissions, one of which was from Amber and Justin. They met at Swift Nature Camp. And so here we go. It was the summer of 2018 at Swift Nature Camp. Justin was already there working from staff training through the first session. I joined, by the way, this is in the perspective of Amber, so not me personally. I joined for the second session, and Justin likes to joke that the moment he saw me in the staff lounge, he knew his life had just gotten a whole lot better. We connected right away, and before we knew it, we were both throwing out those flirty vibes as counselors that summer. Honestly, we just kept coming back year after year because our friendship brought so much joy to one another's life. It felt like every summer just deepened our bond. We even developed our own routine, leading the knots and lashing activity. I want to hear more about that. Activity, fun nights, using every night off to share jokes, all the time off. All of the time we tried to schedule together. I totally butchered that. And planning nights events for campers. Bring joy to our campers became a shared passion. Fast forward to 2021, and we finally decided to make it official and start dating. Then in 2025, we got married and invited so many people from camp who have seen us grow from awkward young adults, we've all been there, to a real husband and wife. So congratulations, guys. And they did send us a photo. So these will be available on our blog and on Instagram. So definitely go and have a look and a like.
Do it for the gram. And again, the theme of this isn't that you have to go find your partner at camp. It's Valentine's Day, so we're leaning into it. We're going to keep sharing these throughout the year and any kind of friendship. We want camp stories. We know you got camp stories, and we want to be an outlet for camp stories. All right, story number 2 of 3. I just took a peek at the third, by the way, and that's so excited. Yes, spoiler. Stay tuned. All right, so Haley, and if you've been on Coffee and Camp Chat with us, you've met Haley P, and Haley's friend is friend/partner's name is Carrick. Yes. Carrick. So Haley and Carrick at Hidden Valley Camp. Back in 2013, Carrick was a counselor and Haley was a junior counselor. They barely spoke that summer, but always knew that they were attracted to one another. Flash forward 5 years to 2018, they just graduated college, went back to camp for the 3rd summer as a counselor, and that's when Haley became very close with Carrick's sister, Anna. Carrick came to visit Anna and to do some volunteer work, and as soon as Haley saw him, turned to a friend and said, "I'm going to date him." Haven't we all been there?
Go get it.
Not for Carrick. I've never met Carrick. I mean, I'm sure, but I'm just saying we've all had that aha moment. Haley says, I just had to know it. I just knew it. We spent the week working in the office together and made plans to meet up when we both got home to Boston. Now, almost 8 years later, they are married and living in Maine with their dog. Their sister-in-law is one of their best friends, and it's all thanks to camp. Shout out Haley and Carrick. And sorry about that stumble in the middle there. I don't have my glasses on.
No,
and if you're watching, you'll understand that my eyesight has been going with my hairline.
I also copied and pasted this and tried to make the font as big as possible because I'm also not wearing my glasses. And I missed, it cut off.
Not actually blind. There's people who are blind. That's got to be terrible. No, I will not be that insensitive, but I should be wearing my glasses.
No, I should.
All right, this one I'm going to tee it up real quick because in about 6 weeks, we are all going to be, well, about 800 to 1,000 of us intimate friends will be in Manchester, New Hampshire for one of the oldest camp traditions, the New England Camp Conference. And I happen to notice that I'm going to just spoil this one. Where did you and your camp friend meet? At the New England Camp Conference. All right, you take it from there, back it up. Who are we talking about? Tell the story.
So I actually had the pleasure of working with this wonderful couple. My dad grew up going to Camp Caribou, and Martha and Bill are the wonderful owner operators. So I'm excited to share their very Martha's perspective. This is the most beautiful New England camp love story. All right, so Bill and I first met in the New England section office, actually. So when it was on Moody Street in Waltham, Massachusetts, I was the director of services for ACA and was meeting a lot of camp directors in the office in order to get to know them and their camps better. Bill Lerman walks into the office with his belt buckle on the side, rose-colored glasses, and zip-up dress boots. He was a character and a half. He began to call the office a lot, looking for staff from our files. He was so funny that I used to put him on speaker so everyone in the office could hear him. I thought he was hysterical, but at the time did not recognize he might be flirting a bit. I had a boyfriend at the time and did not see what was happening. Bill came to the office holiday party along with many other ACA members and my boyfriend. Bill made a point of talking to my friend for a while, then walked up to me and said, "Dump that guy. He ain't got the spirit for you." I'm going to try. I can't do the Bill accent, but if you know him, you know. How did Bill know that? Anyway, Bill continued to call the office a lot. We were all busy preparing for the New England Section Convention in Portland, Maine. Bill showed up at the convention and ended up attending many of the sessions that I happened to be working at. He asked me out to dinner in Portland, and something drew me to accepting the invitation. During the dinner, Bill informed me that we were going to get married. I was thrown by that, but he was so sure of himself. He said, "You and I will be championship material." And for some reason, I knew Bill was right. It was not long before we were married, having a family, and running Camp Caribou together. It's been a great love and a great adventure. Thank you to the American Camp Association for everything. Happy Valentine's Day to Bill. Little shout out there. And to our whole camp community.
Listen, what person could ever resist this line? You and I will be championship material.
I wish we had like a voiceover and he could read that out because it's so much better in his voice.
That is Hall of Fame material from Wild Bill at Camp.
We love
Camp Caribou. Thank you to our friends. So listen, if you heard any of this and you're like, "Oh my God, that's adorable," and you have a similar story or you know a similar story, we're still taking them. It's not because Valentine's Day is over. The vibe doesn't need to be out there, continuously. And we'll go back and forth. Some of them will be the couples, but the next time around, if you're hearing this, think about that camp friend. Think about, for me, it's Kevin Reniger, Bixby, Oklahoma. That's the story that I'm going to tell. That is my first vivid, just ride or die from my camp years. And the Rolodex is deep after that Rolodex. Hold on, I'm going to take my hat off again if I'm going to start using words like Rolodex.
Even so, like the whole point of advocating for the camp experience is to inspire kids to learn how to make those connections and staff and directors. So again, at the conference, that's going to be a huge factor and like subject that everyone's going to be, how do we keep this going? How do we inspire kids to make connections so that they have these amazing stories that they can tell later? And, oh, my camp friend did this. It does it stays into your adulthood. And I love it.
Live by example, make healthy connections, do it the right way, model it for your campers. And then we're all just kind of living our lives and fulfilling our mission. Ayla, we're throwing nucks because that's what we do. I take my hat off and I get instantly old. All right, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we hope you are happy, healthy, making friends, and having a positive impact on your community. I'm Bud. This is Ayla, not Haley's upstairs with Carrie and Michelle and Jillian. We'll see you all at the conference. Keep being there for one another. We're always going to be here for you.
Bye.